Winner by a knockout and still heavyweight champion of the world, Rocky Marciano.
Rocky Marciano never lost a professional fight. Author Mike Stanton is a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist who grew up in Windsor Locks and now teaches journalism at UConn. He wanted to tell the ultimate underdog story that also shows us what New England was like back in the day when everyone watched Friday night fights.
Why did you decide to write this book?
I wanted to tell a story about a great New England and American icon and a particular period in American history, the middle of the 20th century. And boxing was a great window into all the changes sweeping America back then, with immigration and industrialization and the mafia-controlled fighting.
Regardless of what class you came from, where you went to school, what town, people came home and they watched boxing, right, on their TVs?
They did. Boxing and I Love Lucy were the two things that sold TV sets after World War II.
This is the famous fight when Rocky Marciano knocked out Joe Louis.
Back against the ropes goes Louis. A left and a right, and down he goes, and through the ropes.
Here at the Hartford Boxing Center, a new generation of boxers is still inspired today by the 5'10", 185-pound Italian from Brockton, Mass., who proved everyone wrong.
His manager said that I got a guy with two left feet, he's balding, he's stoop-shouldered, he don't look so good with the moves, but his opponents don't look so good when they're on the canvas.
Rocky and Muhammad Ali were friends, but even Ali said Rocky would have given him trouble in the ring.
So I am here with Letitia Blanco, and you are one of the owners of the Hartford Boxing Center.
Yes.
And Rocky Marciano, still such a big deal today. You have some memorabilia you want to show us?
Yes, we're very excited that Mike chose our gym to come out here because we actually have joined the Rocky Marciano tournaments. And two of our fighters won the tournaments, and this is one of the belts that was won by one famous Hartford boxer right now is Richie Popeye the Sailor Man Rivera, and he's 8-0 right now with 7 knockouts.
Rocky's never give up attitude was the real-life inspiration for the film Rocky.
A few years after Rocky Marciano died in the plane crash, a young starving actor who liked boxing named Sylvester Stallone saw some old movie clips of Rocky Marciano, and it helped inspire him to make one of the greatest sports movies of all time, Rocky. And interestingly, if you watch the movie, there's a couple of scenes in Rocky Balboa's apartment where you'll see a poster of Rocky Marciano on the wall.
Stanton also uncovered a secret no one knew about Rocky Marciano.
Why does he have a mugshot?
He was court-martialed in the Army. He was in the Army, his unit was about to deploy for D-Day, and he and another GI were court-martialed for robbing and assaulting 2 British civilians. And this has never been known before. I uncovered it in the National Archives.
And you might be interested to know there is a Connecticut connection to this story. After Rocky Marciano won the heavyweight title in Philadelphia in 1952 against Jersey Joe Wolcott, his sisters were driving through Danbury when they had a moment with police.
And they're driving through Connecticut late at night, and the Connecticut police are hunting for 2 women who have escaped from the state prison. And so they pull over the car thinking they might be the inmates. And they say, no, we're Rocky Marciano's sisters. And of course, everybody in the world knows what's happened that night. And the cops don't believe it at first. And they say, no, really, we have Rocky's glove in the trunk of our car. So they pop the trunk, and the cops see the glove, and it still has the blood on it. And they're all excited now, like kids on Christmas morning, and they say, can you come back to the police station with us and show the other guys the glove? So they go back to the police station, they show the glove, they sign a few autographs, and then they get an escort back to the highway, and they go back to Brockton in a huge celebration.
Those were the days when Rocky went to parties with celebrities like Debbie Reynolds and Eddie Fisher, even Frank Sinatra. But the celebrations would fade after Rocky retired and started hanging out too much with the same mobsters who took half his earnings and controlled his career. A mafia man asked him to go to Des Moines, Iowa to help open a steakhouse. The plane crashed, and this time it was Rocky who was down for the count for good.
He said, you know, I'm going to be one of the last of the gladiators. You know, this era has passed us by. And he really was kind of the end of an era.
The era may be over, but the Rocky story now lives on in a new way for a new generation, learning about what it takes to fall down and get back up again.
We're very excited about your book, looking forward to reading it, and a lot of our children here and youth, I'm going to get them to read the book as well.